There he is, locked and loaded. Good morning, sir. How are you doing on this beautiful Monday?
Good morning, doing well. Getting ready to head back to Miami for draft week. All 4 picks that we're covering this weekend, but 4 incredibly important picks, 4 resounding, draft-defining picks. The
Well,
Dolphins will make this
at least the
weekend.
second and third rounders could be.
I hope
Although,
they trade.
hey,
I hope
listen,
they trade all of them to move up and then
that's
make one pick and call it.
yeah, that's not going to happen.
That's a perfect draft weekend for us.
You. So that way your day's over and you're done for the rest of the week. So that would be actually fantastic for you. But with the good fortunes that they've had in the second round, that's one that you got to really look forward to if you're a Miami Dolphins fan, because they hit on second round picks, dude. So
They do. Raekwon Davis, Javon Holland, who am I
about
forgetting?
Raekwon yet? X-Man is, but yeah.
Davian Howard. I'm just naming they have several impact players.
Yeah.
They have several impact players they've selected in the second round. Rob Hunt. Was Rob Hunt second or third round?
Second. You're right.
Second
You're
round.
right. And it wasn't his fault, but Gesicki easily in a pass happy offense would have been a successful second.
Could have been a 1,000-yard receiver for sure.
Yeah.
In the right offense.
Yeah, right offense that somebody
might end up doing it this year, to be honest.
Yes, because they will throw a lot. He's a conservative quarterback. He doesn't really take a lot of chances if you really look at it. So he's going to throw a lot to the backs and the tight ends. Gesicki will get a lot of play in that offense. They're a very tight end friendly offense. Always have been.
Yeah, I think the multi tight end system, like if they're trying to get back to the Hernandez Gronk days, I think it's a little antiquated now in 2023. I think you've got to have receivers who can make a difference on the outside. They got rid of Jacoby Myers and replaced him with Juju. I think that's a downgrade. I don't think Juju is very good. I think he succeeds when everything around him is perfect. I don't think everything was going to be perfect around him in New England. But
he's a 3 is what he is. In a perfect world, he's like a number 3 wide receiver because he's playing off 2 studs.
Yeah, he's a 3, but they're paying him as a 1 right now. So like Juju and Devontae Parker and Nelson Aguilar out the slip.
They're not very, Marcel, the one thing we have learned about New England is they're not very good at assessing wide receivers. That's a fact. Okay. Like that guy sucks at assessing wide receivers. I don't even know how he ended up with Welker and Moss. Seriously.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Moss, I'm not giving him credit for Moss because they didn't scout him. They traded for him. And,
I know, but the fact that they even ended with Moss, I'm still surprised because just, one day they normally
Edelman. I'll give him Edelman. I'll give him Edelman.
Yeah, that was like, yeah.
He wasn't even a receiver, so like I'll give him Edelman.
Yeah, he was a converted
Welker because they didn't draft him. So like I'll give him Edelman and I'll give him Troy Brown from way back in the day.
And in 20-something years, I mean, Jesus Christ, dude, they are really bad when it comes to wide receivers. So I am not surprised. All right. Give me 2 tight ends you like, 1 in the second, 1 in the third round for the Miami Dolphins. Who are they?
I think Shoemaker. I like the kid from Michigan. I think he's going to be. He's a third rounder. Still blossoming as a receiver. Don't let the numbers fool you in Michigan or at Michigan though. That's a super run heavy offense. If you put up 300-400 yards as a tight end in that offense, I think that's a good season for you. And then I'm still keeping the dream alive. I'm still keeping the Washington dream alive at 51, man. I think even if you got to move up a couple picks, if he's available, depending on the asking price, I think Darnell Washington will be worth it. He's not somebody who's going to come in right away and be your everything tight end, but it's a very hard position to transition from college to the NFL. Maybe the hardest hardest position in football. He can take his time developing as a receiver, but his blocking is going to transition right away. I think he is worth moving up for, particularly if Jahmyr Gibbs' dream, if that dream is dead. I haven't been pushing it as hard. Once upon a time, I pushed Travis Etienne real hard when he was coming out. I'm not that into this running back pick. I'm not that into grabbing Jahmyr Gibbs, but I think if Darnell Washington is available in the second round, that he is worth moving up for.
What would be the backup to Darnell Washington? Because I don't think he's going to make it to 51. But what would be
the Wait is my backup plan. It's Darnell Washington or Wait. I think you can get tight, especially like I said, you can get Shoemaker in the second or third round or tackle. Yeah, go tackle, go BPA, to be honest, but I don't force the tight end pick. Obviously, they need a tight end in the future. This is a good class to get one in, but it's not like, as I think I wrote this. I think I wrote this in the story that came out either yesterday or the day before. They don't have any positions where the guy needs to start right away. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have any positions where they need to draft somebody who is ready out the box to play instantly. And they could use a contributor at tight end. The idea is that Austin Jackson plays right tackle, but is he really not? Is a rookie really going to be better than Austin Jackson right now? I'm not confident in that. I can't say that, full-heartedly. So the idea is that he's still going to start. And then what other positions are we talking about? Even running back, even if they take Gibbs, most of it's going to be the starting running back until Gibbs, gets his feet under him. So, I think that's a wonderful position for them to be in, so that they don't have to force any pick for need. They can truly take a BPA approach and bring them on slowly.
Okay, all right. Are you expecting any moves with Cedric?
No, I think Cedric stays. At least through OTAs and into training camp. I think they give him an opportunity to bounce back. It's interesting that when asked about him, Chris Greer last week said that he didn't bring up anything Ced did as a receiver. He said, he stepped up and volunteered as a returner. Obviously, they don't need him as a returner anymore. And Robbie Anderson is a much cheaper option who I think could be a little more dynamic than Cedric Wilson is. But Robbie's got to prove that his head is in the game. Robbie's got to prove that, he's put the struggles of the past 2 years behind him and that he's ready to come out to Miami and hoop, ready to come home and hoop. But there's going to be an opportunity for Robbie Anderson, Chosen Anderson. We're going to have to ask him if he's okay with being called Robbie, because that's going to slip out every now and then. But if Anderson is going to have an opportunity to beat out Ced Wilson throughout the offseason. I think that position is up for grabs. They're only going to keep what they keep last year, 5 receivers on the 53, 6 receivers on the 53. So if you think, the first 3 are locked. Craycraft I think is a lock. Not Craycraft, Ezukama I think is a lock. And so we're looking at Wilson, Craycraft, Barry. I said Barrios was in the top 3.
Okay. So
Wilson, Craycraft, Anderson, and then whoever they add in the offseason, and Braylon Sanders and whatnot. Like, they're battling for, I think there's a spot or 2 open past that. I don't think both of them make it. They kind of remind me of the same. They kind of remind me of the same build, the same type of receiver. I don't think that there's a world in which you can keep Anderson and Wilson, but I don't think there's a good trade partner for Wilson right now. I think teams know the Dolphins want to get rid of him, and they see what he wasn't able to do last year, and the price, especially for what they're going to have to pay him in actual money. I don't think people are going to want to pay the capital to bring him on board. It's going to be difficult to find a partner.
By the way, if he doesn't like being called Robbie and he kind of gets all bent out of shape, then maybe he hasn't screwed his head on right.
I guess. But, I'm not going to – everybody's got their – everybody wants to be themselves. I'm willing to allow –
if he loses his mind with somebody, I'm not Robbie, I'm Chosen or something. Like, yo, dude, relax. Like, relax, bro. Relax. Take it easy. It's by the way, it's hard to take anybody serious that calls themselves Chosen. Just like Ocho Cinco or just like whatever. It's actually hard for the other person to take you seriously. So just to tell all these people that change their names to funky names, let's be honest now. All right.
Hey, look, again, people are eccentric, people are individuals and unique. You want to be called chosen, that's fine. As long as we can treat each other with mutual respect. I don't care if you want to call yourself God's gift. Like, I'm big on respect. I don't care what your name is.
No, I know, but it's just hard to take serious. By the way, how do you handle the dynamic of, you got like 99.9% of fans, they want a new right tackle and a new left guard. You can't convince them anything of Eichenberg and Jackson. But then it's the same thing on the other side. You can't convince anybody in that building for the Miami Dolphins to not care and believe in Austin Jackson and Liam Eichenberg. So it's funny how both sides are entrenched in their beliefs.
Well, as somebody who thinks that Austin Jackson should get another shot to prove he's healthy, it's the last year of his rookie deal. I don't expect him to pick the fifth year up because all respect to him, he hasn't deserved. He hasn't earned it. He hasn't earned it. It just hasn't been healthy. Hasn't put together consistent, strong play for a long enough period of time. But as Mina Kimes once told me when we were talking about the Tua debate a couple years ago, it's not Tua versus Herbert, Tua versus Burrow. It's not Austin Jackson versus Rashawn Slater or Tristan Wirfs. It's not that. It's Austin Jackson versus who is legitimately available. And when you look at their draft picks and who is available, again, I don't think it's likely that a rookie comes in and beats Austin Jackson out, who has been here for several years. He's been a starting caliber offensive lineman for multiple years. Low-end starter, but starting caliber offensive lineman for multiple years. And I don't think he was bad. He wasn't even the worst offensive lineman the year that he was getting all that shit in 2021. He wasn't the worst offensive lineman on this team. Jesse Davis was. And then Liam Eichenberg was. And then Austin Jackson was. He actually was decent once they kicked him into guard. I don't think we've been able to see him for a long enough time at right tackle to firmly say whether or not he can play. But he had a strong off-season camp. He had a good training camp. He just wasn't healthy, and he got hurt right away. And we just don't know. I think it's still an unknown. Like, this isn't Madden. As I see King say, he's moved 3 times. Whose fault? Is that his fault? It's hard to. This isn't it's not Madden. You don't get to just say I'm a left guard now and be a left guard. You don't get to just move to right tackle after spending your entire life at left tackle and kicking a certain way and sliding a certain way and shifting your balance a certain way, and then just expect to get it against the best athletes pound for pound on the planet in defensive ends and edge rushers and linebackers. Like, this shit's hard. You need to do this for a long time. That's why I'd be more skeptical about Liam Eichenberg, because he's been a left guard for like 2 years now, and we're not seeing the same ceiling that we thought we saw when he was drafted. Like, I think that's a bigger concern than somebody who's not been allowed to plant roots at a new position yet. Let's hold judgment is all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's going to be all world. I'm not saying he's an all pro. He's a, max contract kind of tackle. Like, let him play. Let him try. Let him prove that he's healthy. And I think you're going to see, like, the guys who spend every single day around these people might know a little more than we do when we see them on game day. Or even we do when we see them on game day and at practice for a few minutes. Like, I tend to skew toward coaches in this scenario when they spend, day after day after day with these people and they say, yeah, I think, he's going to be good here.
What do you got going on ESPN so folks can check you out, my friend?
Well, we get to catch up with Durham Smythe and Bradley Chubb, I believe, tomorrow. Chubb, really excited to talk to, see how rehab's going on his wrist, see how the chemistry building with Jalen Phillips has gone. I know he's hopped on Brendan Scarlett's podcast and show or internet show once or twice, and I think he's going to be fun to catch up with. And then, man, we got drafts. Coming. Obviously, everybody knows, biggest week of the offseason. I'm going to keep going over mocks, keep going over prospects, keep going over backup plans just to make sure I'm up to date on, whoever the Dolphins might take. I'm not traditionally one to obsess over prospects. My first year covering the league, I mean, I must have talked to like 60, 70 guys at the combine when I was there all week, and the Panthers didn't draft any of them. But I like having that database of knowledge. So this week's all about shoring that up. And then I'm actually hosting ESPN's post-draft show on Friday. So I'm going to touch up on the first round as well. Not that the Dolphins are probably going to even pick in the first round, but gotta be ready just in case.
The just out of curiosity, did you really see anything in the Tom Brady comments from last week?
No, and I refuse to acknowledge them. I'm so happy my editor hasn't reached out. I got at this point, he's not playing this year. Y'all want a 43-year-old Tom Brady next year?
No, but here's my problem with people, and I get it. Look, bro, it's this off season. You got to create bullshit so you can create clicks and all that and whatever and get your name out. But he just said, "Oh man, well, I will say now that I'm not affiliated with any team anymore, and even though I have strong ties to a couple teams, I do have friends on the Dolphins that I really look. I wouldn't say I necessarily root for them all the time, but I root for my friends to do well, and several of them play for Miami. That's it. So what's the big deal?
It's not a big deal. Cool. He's got friends that play for the Dolphins. That's it. You know,
at no point does that say I'm still interested in playing. And by the way, didn't he already have a sappy "I'm retired" thing on the beach? And didn't he have a? Didn't he follow up again? Didn't he follow up again with "I'm retired. I got my daughter, and we just adopted a kid. Do you know how much time it takes?" So is he supposed to repeat "I'm retired" every time you ask him? That also kind of becomes asinine too to somebody that's retired already. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
the guy's got like
that statement says that I'm interested in playing or I'm tied to anything or nothing at all. It just says he has friends on the team and he roots for them. Big freaking deal.
I like what Polly King here says. I got friends who work in construction, but do I want to join them? No. Like, respectfully, I got friends. You know.
I get it, bro. You got to fill some space. You got to do some bullshit. I get that, you know, but it's the same thing I thought with Tua this past week. Okay, so then he's an idiot if he doesn't think about retirement because he should retire because, you know, everybody cares so much about him. He should retire. And then when he says, "Oh, yeah, no, I had a conversation with my family." Oh, no, he shouldn't talk about it. Well, what is it, bro? He should retire or he shouldn't talk about retirement? What the fuck is it? Please tell me. Where does the kid win? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's like, damn it, bro.
It is also April.
Right.
It's also April.
Yes.
This shit happens.
Yes.
Also, what's it called? The shirt. My bad. I see somebody say the shirt says, "Never talk to cops." That's what your lawyer is for. It's not never talk to cops. So don't screenshot and try to act like this doesn't say this says something it's not. It's a perfect shirt to wear on to wear for this segment.
And never talk to the insurance company. Have your lawyers talk to your insurance company. Same thing.
Look,
Same thing, bro. Protect your rights.
That is what your lawyer is for. If anybody likes the shirt, the company is called Entry Level. My boy runs it. I knew him back. I think he's out in DC. Entry Level LLC. If you look it up on Instagram, they got a bunch of stuff like this. They got some funny like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos shirts as well. Like, just go check it out. I wear their shirts on here all the time. But,
and if you need a lawyer, Welt and Rheaume. Okay. Call Welt and Rheaume. So if you got some issues, don't call the cops. Call Welt and Rheaume. You got some flooding in Fort Lauderdale? Don't call the insurance companies. You call Welt and Rheaume. They will handle those idiots in the insurance companies for you. Right there. 954-966-4646. And Jeff and Dan are proud sponsors of this segment right here with Marcel Louis Jacques. Follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. Marcel, thank you, my brother. We will catch up later. Appreciate it.
See y'all this week.
You got it. Marcel will return on Thursday in the afternoon when we're at Hialeah Park. Homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, you call my friends Jeff and Dan at Welt and Rheaume. And for those of you, especially in Fort Lauderdale, dealing with all that flooding and all that damage, damn it, don't put up with the shit from the insurance companies. You call the people that are going to fight for you. You want a left tackle and a right tackle that are all pro? Jeff and Dan right now. 954-966-4646.